Hi Fantasy Managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. In this video we'll have a quick review of how we got on in Game Week 18, much affected, overall rank, how many points we scored, and a quick look at transfer plans up and coming for Game Week 19. So let's jump into it. So this is my side going into Game Week 18. As we know, so many fixtures were taken off the table, postponed. The prices that you see on the screen right now, Ramsdale, let's say, is 4.8. That is not, of course, the price that you would be buying him at now. When I brought him in, he was 4.5, so he would be sold now. That is the price that you see on the screen for 4.8. So all these prices are my sort of transfer selling prices because, of course, remember, any profit that you make off a player, FPL takes half of that and rounds it down. So I do have to bear that in mind, especially when I'm looking at future transfer plans with the likes of Mo Salah. Selling him now, I would get 12.7. If I want to buy him back in 3 or 4 weeks' time, if his price stays the same, I'll be buying him back for 13.1. So I'm losing 0.4. I've got to factor that in. So there was only 4 games off. I had one transfer to make. Let's see how I did and who I went with. Remember, guys, there's plenty more great content coming out. Whether you're just new to the channel or you enjoy FPL content, hit that subscribe button, hit like, make some comments, please, guys. I'd love to hear from you. Any thoughts you have, transfer list, watch lists, tips coming out. But in the meantime, let's have a look at that transfer. So it was really a choice between, and Mbeumo was definitely coming out. The end of his good fixtures had finished with some of those games not even being played. He came out and it was a choice between Martinelli, easy swap to make, or it was Jacob Ramsey from Aston Villa. They got some good fixtures. I was leaning towards Martinelli genuinely, but I think with the fact that Jacob Ramsey's fixture got called off at very late in the day, and I just wasn't prepared to even pull the trigger on it until it happened, until the deadline. Thank goodness I didn't. So Martinelli was then an easy decision. I've saved myself 0.2. He came in and we know what impact he had. So those results of the weekend. Arsenal's clean sheet was wrecked by Rafinha. He's been a real thorn in my side. I've had him since the start of the season. And obviously they've had some difficult games. Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal. But he's still picking up and suddenly on pens as well. So he's still scoring. But by the by, I can't do anything about that. It was a good decision to get rid of him, really. I can't never judge a decision by its outcome. Man City keeping that clean sheet was brilliant. Chelsea 0-0 with Wolves. Spurs obviously high scoring game with Liverpool. Pulsating match that was. Let's have a look at how I got on. The captaincy was on Salah. The worst player I could possibly put on looking there apart from Ramsdale, and that was never an option. I've been stung twice this season when I haven't chosen Salah. I just felt Spurs hadn't played for a few weeks. Didn't know who's going to be available. Just seemed too risky, and I wasn't brave enough to not go against him. Okay, ultimately I don't think I've hurt me too much. First game in 16 matches, he hasn't returned a goal or assist. He owes me nothing. The real winners were, I'm really pleased with the Chelsea clean sheet at last. Rudiger and James picking up points for that. They seem to still pick up returns even when they concede though, so they're just a mainstay in that defence for me. Alexander-Arnold, for instance, still picking up those 3 bonus points, which was great. Got an assist as well. Diaz and Cancelo, the real winners, 30 points between them, absolutely outstanding. Cancelo scoring and assisting 3 bonus points. Diaz scoring. The fact he was taken off after 70 minutes, didn't mind that at all. Just showed me that Pep wants to keep him fresh and rested and protected him. Shows me he's very much part of the plans of starting every game. Martinelli was just a brilliant move to bring him in 15 points for that. Oh, that was fantastic. He's already gone up in price for me as well. Jota keeps his great form. Up front, Dennis obviously didn't play. Antonio Watkins Bowen. So none of that really helped me at all. But 9 players played. Overall got 76 points. Really pleased with that. My rank went up by over 100k. So 126,000. This point last season, I was nowhere near that. Finishing inside the top 80k. I want to better that this year. And I'm on target for it now. So we're not quite halfway through the season. I feel my side's in good shape. I obviously used my wildcard earlier on the season. But I'll get a new one very shortly. Not used a free hit. So I'm in a pretty good place, I feel, at the moment. Got some plans. I feel that the fixtures being cancelled, the uncertainty, injuries, I'm in a good place because I've just always maintained a strong bench. Antonio Watkins, Bowen, Dennis not playing, and Gallagher, they're all very important players for their sides. So they're all integral. So I've just got so many choices. I don't think it's by luck that some of these I've managed to get 9 players out. I've just by maintaining a strong bench, planning in advance, although some of these things you just can't foresee, has really paid dividends, and I'll be moving up ranks wise at the moment. So could be better, always could be, but you know what is it? It's inside the top 1.5% of all FPL players, so I've got to be happy with that, really am. So team value, I've got 105.1 million. Remember, that's not the actual, that's the team value, not the transfer value. That would be probably half of that, because FPL obviously charge you. Got 1 free transfer for the next game week. I have got to think about things like Mo Salah. What am I going to do with him? He's going to the African Cup of Nations. We've all got a plan to have to think about him. He's going to have to come out. I could possibly hold him, but that's a lot of money to have in my midfield. I don't know. I don't think holding him is an option. It could go to Ronaldo. He's got great fixtures coming up. But then it's difficult to go from Salah who's a midfielder, to Ronaldo up front. That's going to take 2 moves. So maybe rolling a transfer for the next week would be a good idea. I could easily go from Salah to De Bruyne or Salah to Son, who seems to be picking up form as well. Those are the options I'm looking at. But we'll have a look at transfer tips. There's a few other players that possibly could be on the cards. But that Salah, that has got to happen. I absolutely need to think about him. He's the only AFCON player that I've got that I will go. Big miss, and I've got to include him in my future plans. That's it for this. It was just a whistle-stop tour of the game review for me. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember, transfer tips, watch list coming out. I'll put one out on the Afghan and how that affects players as well. In the meantime, speak to you soon.